So, the night with my run-in with law enforcement, I was shooting off some rockets out there in Cape San Blas, in an area called Salinas Park, where I shoot off most of my fireworks, at least for my demos. I shot off 3 rockets, and then I heard the blurp of a siren go off behind me, and I looked, and there was a patrol truck there with his lights on, and they were on just for a second and they went off. He pulled down to the beach where I was at, and I turned my camera off. I'm thinking, oh, here we go. And so I should have probably left my camera on, but I didn't. And so this deputy got out of his truck, and he just basically told me, he said, look, he said, I hate to crash your party, but you can't be shooting fireworks out here. And I said, yes, sir. You know, just having some fun. And he left. He didn't cite me or anything. He didn't go on or whatever. I guess I could have played a little more stupider. You know, I could have maybe opened the window up for some dialogue. You know, maybe I could have said, you know, hey, where can I shoot them off at? Or, you know, can I come back next week? I knew that I was in the wrong because I knew that fireworks were illegal to shoot off, except for on certain holidays. So the fact that I was able to get away with it for, you know, over a year and a half, I was pretty surprised by that. But anyway, so I just told him yes, sir, and went about my business. I picked up my stuff and went home. When I got home, I told my wife what happened. You know, that the cops busted me for shooting fireworks off. Told me I couldn't do it no more. You know, maybe I should have explained to him that I have a YouTube channel or whatever, but I don't think he would have mattered. He probably would have been maybe sympathetic, you know, but he's got a job to do. And coming from a background in law enforcement myself, having 25 years in the prison system, you know, I have respect for authority, so I didn't, you know, bother with it. So I just left. In regards to how that night affected my YouTube channel, on that particular night, I remember thinking that if I can't come out here and shoot fireworks on the beach, then I can't, you know, post demos for you guys. So, you know, I'm thinking, you know, maybe my channel's probably over with. I mean, that night ultimately determined the future of the channel, but wasn't really necessarily at that moment. That came later on the night of July 4th. You know, I had a large stash of fireworks that had gotten together that I shot the night after my show. And I was out there trying to do intro videos and shoot them off and talk and all this kind of stuff, and it just wasn't working out for me. It was just too much, and I wasn't really having any fun. It was a lot of work, and it was a big hassle, you know, having to do all that. So, you know, that same night after I got back from shooting those fireworks off, trying to do those demos, that's when I came back home and I did my 4th of July rants. There's a video posted online. You've probably seen it. It's called 4J Rants. Earlier that day, before I went out and shot the fireworks, I did some rants before I went out there. So I wasn't in a very good mood, regardless, because I knew that day was it. That after that day, I wasn't be able to shoot off any more fireworks until New Year's Eve. And so whatever content I had to produce it that night. And so I was very upset about that, and I just knew it wasn't gonna work out, you know. I mean, I guess I could have asked somebody, you know, hey, you know, if you have some private property that could show off fireworks, go in the woods somewhere. I probably could have found somewhere to shoot off fireworks, but you know, if I couldn't shoot off fireworks on the beach like I'm supposed to do, then it's not what I want. I mean, after all, I am the beach banger. I want to shoot off fireworks on the beach. And I want everybody to enjoy that. I want everybody to be a part of that, you know. So if I can't do that, then what the hell, you know. I got frustrated, and I kind of just removed myself from the scene, you know. So what I've been up to lately, I've been doing a few things. I've been putting together a poker club. I bought a tabletop, a table, chairs, and chips and cards, and I bought signage and turned my shed into a poker card room, and it worked out real nice. I've hosted about 15 poker home games, and I usually have, you know, 6, 7 people play. And yes, we do play for money, because you can't play poker without playing for money. And also, I've been doing a lot of surf fishing. You know, I go out to the beach and surf fish and to relax, and I'll spend all morning out there, and that's been a lot of fun. Also, I have been shooting off fireworks. I've been shooting off fireworks on July 4th and New Year's Eve, days where I can legally shoot them off, not get in trouble for it. I go out there with friends and family, not put on a show or anything, but just have a bunch of fireworks, shoot them off, you know, have a good time. So I've been doing that. I still watch firework YouTube channels. I haven't commented on anybody's videos. I kind of avoid dialogue, because I didn't really want to, you know, get into a conversation of why I stopped and yada yada. So that's that. My background in fireworks. Well, I was born in 1977, and I grew up as a kid in the 80s, and I was a teenager, young adult in the 90s. And during that time, I always just went down to the public display put on by the local fire department, and we watched the fireworks down there at the boat ramp. They always have a nice show down there. As far as consumer fireworks go, I had zero experience with consumer fireworks, except for maybe sparklers and smoke bombs. That's about it. My family, we never bought any fireworks for ourselves, and so I don't have any experience with that. In 2019, I was still living in Panama City at the time. A year after Hurricane Michael, I was in Walmart one day, July 3rd or whatever, and I saw these assortment packets by TNT. And so, you know what? This would be fun to do. You know, my family was still kind of, you know, depressed of the housing situation and everything else. So it'd be good to go down to the beach and light off these firework assortments. And so it was, you know, fountains, you know, snakes, little poppers, and just your typical assortment packages, you know, you get at Walmart. It was nothing special to them, you know, but my family had fun, my kids had fun, you know. They never seen anything like that before. And so the following year we did the same thing. But in the summer of 2021, I wanted something a little bit different. There was this firework trailer parked in St. Joe Beach. They had all kinds of different stuff in there. But I went there, I was looking around, and the guy was like, hey man, can I help you out? Can I help you find something, you know? And I was embarrassed, because I didn't know anything. I didn't know what was what did what. I didn't know what to look for. I told the guy, I said, look man, I just want some things to show off on the beach for my family and have some fun, you know. And so I bought these color pearls and garden spring, and I bought, you know, this one little Ariel cake, and I think I bought, you know, a couple other things, and then some more fountains, you know, nothing crazy. We went down to the beach the next day and shot that stuff off, and we had fun. You know, it was something different, something a little more than previous years. But it was between July 4th, 2021 and New Year's Eve 2021. That period of time is what is my development stage. I went and I made it my mission, okay, to find out about fireworks. So I Googled types of fireworks, what fireworks do what, and I watched all these videos on fireworks and everything, and I just, you know, absorbed all this information about fireworks. And I went from knowing nothing to knowing a lot just by watching these videos. And so prior to New Year's Eve, I went to several different firework retail stores throughout the area. Some were far away, and I bought different things. You know, I bought rockets, I bought my first canister shells, I bought ball shells, I bought 500 gram cake, 200 gram cakes. I bought the good stuff, you know. And so on the night of New Year's Eve, so prior to going out to the beach that night to shoot off fireworks, I drank quite a bit of beer ahead of time, and I was feeling pretty good. And so my daughter took a picture of me, one you see right here, with me holding a torch and a beer in my hand. That was New Year's Eve 2021, and that was the day the Beachbanger was born, because that night we went out there with friends and family, and we had an absolute blast. We're shooting off all this cool stuff that I've never shot before. Had so much fun. It was that moment right there that I decided, hey, fireworks is what I want to do. I want to shoot off fireworks, and I want to make videos. And so that's what I did, you know. The Beachbanger was born on December 31st, 2021. And that's pretty much my background into fireworks. I started a YouTube channel because, like I said, I had watched a bunch of other firework YouTube channels, and everybody was having fun. Everybody was shooting off fireworks and talking about this and talking about that and doing all this cool stuff, and I wanted to be part of it, you know. But not only that is, but I noticed when I was watching these firework channels that none of them were really beach based, you know what I mean? They were all inland. I didn't see any that was like along the coast anywhere. And so I felt like there was a need for a firework YouTube channel that was centered, you know, along the coast. And so because I live near the beach and have an interest in fireworks, I felt like I could feel that need, you know. So along with my videos came, you know, the coastal scenery, of course, which is a big part of my channel. Anyways, so I was coming up with a name, right? What should I name my channel? And like I said, I had some different ideas, but I said I got one. I'm gonna be the Beachbanger. Beach, because that's where my fireworks will be shut off from. Banger, because that's what fireworks do. They go bang, right? So it just kind of made sense for me to name my channel Beachbanger. So I started my channel because I saw a need. There was a need on YouTube for a beach venue based firework channel, and I had that ability, and so I named it Beachbanger. The expectations I had for my channel was that really I didn't really have very high expectations for my channel. I don't know if you could tell or not by my first video, but I didn't have a whole lot of fireworks at the time. I didn't have a whole lot of money going into it. I didn't have the right technology to accomplish the videos. You know, I had this shitty camera. I just got my laptop. I didn't really have the resources available to me at the time I started my channel. I did get resources eventually, slowly, a little bit here and a little there. But not only that is, but like I hate to keep going back to it, but you know, I knew the legality of shooting fireworks in Florida, and so I wasn't sure how long it was going to take before, law enforcement got a hold of me and told me to stop doing it. I knew it was only a matter of time. And I went a lot further than I thought I was going to, so that was a plus. Also, as far as people actually watching my videos and subscribing and stuff, I really didn't have a clue how that was going to turn out, The fact that when I stopped making videos, I had like 380-something subscribers. And to me, that's a success. I got my 100 subscribers, 200 subscribers, 300 subscribers. Like, man, this is going pretty good, My watch hours was doing pretty good. And I thought everything was going great. So I consider myself successful, early on. I wasn't expecting that. So I would say that overall, my expectations, were met and then some, I can't really complain about how things went that first year. It was always pretty good. Something else that I really liked was I loved reading the comments people would make, about my fireworks, my videos and stuff. I wasn't really sure what to expect of what people liked and what they didn't like, but most of the comments I got were really good, and so that was encouraging. So, what is my approach to making videos? Well, that's a very simple question, but it's a very complex answer. There are a lot of pyros out there with similar content as me, but they go about making their videos differently than I. Every firework channel on YouTube is different. They're not all the same, even though they are similar, I too am similar in what they do. And I don't know that there's necessarily a wrong way or a right way to do videos. When it comes to making videos, I guess a good piece of advice would to display popular items, a lot of your mainstream items, mainstream brands. Show off a lot of the expensive stuff, like NOABs or your newest, latest canister shells. It'd also be a great idea to keep your videos relatively short. People say, "Oh man, your videos are too long. 20 minutes is way too long. It needs to be like 5 minutes or less." Well, I watch a lot of YouTube channels other than fireworks, like travel vlogs, camping encounters, dumpster diving, fishing videos, and a lot of those videos surpass 10, 15, even 20 minutes. Those channels keep my interest. Those long videos keep my interest. So to say that something's too long, I think that's subjective. That's not fact. But what is fact is that since the very beginning I've started this, I've always said that I'm going to make my videos the way I want to make my videos. Whether viewers like them or dislike them, I'm still going to make videos the way I want to make videos. It doesn't really matter if my videos are too short or too long. There is no real time limit to my videos, as long as the content is complete. Whatever the content may be, I'm going to make the video long enough to what's necessary to fulfill what I'm trying to show you. And so I don't put a time limit on my videos, and I certainly don't go out and buy the mainstream items, so all that advice can go out the window as far as I'm concerned. You can take that advice, put it in a tube, and shoot it to the moon for all I care, because it doesn't apply to me. And viewers, they're going to watch my content or they're not going to watch my content. I mean, I'm still going to make it the same. So And then another question is well, do you make videos for yourself or do you make videos for viewers? So if you're trying to get viewers and subscribers, then you want to make videos that cater to them. Well, again, you know, I'm still making my videos the way I want to. They're either with me or they're not, you know. I would love to have everybody on board, you know, with what I'm doing. That's not possible because not everybody's going to enjoy your stuff. I'm sure there are a lot of other pyros out there who disagree with the way I do things or whatever. But, you know, it is what it is. But getting down to answering the question about how I approach making videos, I put a lot of work and emphasis on creativity, you know. Regardless of what kind of video I'm doing, whether it's a demo, or if I'm doing a cake board, or if I'm showing off my latest racks, you know, I look at the product and say to myself, how can I present this product in a way that's going to be effective, that people can be entertained, and they're going to enjoy the video and want to see more, you know. Also, when I do my videos, I ask myself, will people get to know me better? Will they understand me better? Will I become more personal to them? I mean, because I do want my viewers to feel connected to me, you know. I want them to feel like that I know them personally, and they know me personally, like we're buddies, you know. So that's some things I think about, you know, when I'm creating videos. When I'm doing videos, I think about, okay, well, what kind of video is it, you know? Is it, am I showcasing a rack? Well, if that's the case, I'll probably just do it here in my backyard, you know? If I'm doing a cake board, I'll probably do it right here in my backyard, you know? Or, you know, if I'm, you know, fusing something together or doing a cake board, I might go out to the coast, you know? Because, see, location is very important to me. I think about location, you know. I love to include coastal scenery into my videos. I want to show you guys where I live, the environment I live in, you know. It's a very nice place to live here, and so I want to show it off. You know, I really like filming in different locations around Gulf County. All my videos are found within Gulf County. I don't go to neighboring counties. It's all filmed here in the southern half of Gulf County. There's miles and miles of coastline. You know, I can pick all kinds of different places to film. And I love filming. I love going out and filming different locations for my intro videos and stuff. It helps build who I am and what Beachbanger is about. I want people to see me, you know, talking about, you know, whatever down by the water, you know, because it's just a nice place to do it. You know, it's a nice place to exhibit my products, my content. So I like to use location as my advantage in making videos. So I throw a lot of that in there, you know. When it comes to doing demo intros, I like going to the beach, you know. I like taking pictures of my product out there on the beach, you know, in front of the water, the waves and stuff, on the sand. You know, like talking about, you know, certain fireworks out there on the beach. That's all part of it. When it comes to making videos, location is important. And another thing I like to do about location is, depending on a particular firework that I want to demo, I'll choose a certain location that I think is best for that particular firework, you know. If it's a firework that has to do with, you know, the swamp, I'll go find a swamp. You know, if it's a firework that deals with the river, I'll go find a river. You know, if it's a firework that involves the summertime, I'll go to the beach. You know, I'll do my demos. I'll do my intro videos on location where I think it fits the firework. Speaking of fireworks, let's talk about product selection. You know, how do I go about selecting products? You know, how do I go about choosing which fireworks to display or not? You know, which ones should I demo? Well, early on, what I did was go to the national calendar, and I picked out, you know, holidays that I thought, you know, were interesting. You know, ones I thought I could find fireworks, like National Roller Coaster Day. You know, I saw that day coming up, you know, back when I was filming. I said, hey, I'm going to Busch Gardens in a few months. you know, I'll buy this firework now, and then I'll do an intro. When I'm at Busch Gardens, I'll do another video, and so I'll save that footage for when the time comes. National Native American Day. You know what? We got an area in here called Indian Pass. You know, what a great place to do an intro for, you know, a firework that involves the Indian, you know. Those are the kind of things I think about, you know. Creativity is the umbrella term for all of it. Location falls under that. Product selection falls under that. We talked about national holidays. I go by national holidays. I also go by seasons. If it's the winter time, I'll try to find fireworks that have to deal with cold weather, or maybe space, you know, or you know, neon stuff. I associate cold weather with, you know, neon colors, flashing white strobes, and you know, that kind of stuff. Not only do I think about seasonal fireworks, I think about fireworks that are within my interest level. You know, if I see a firework that's it's in my interest, then I'll pick it up. You know, so I don't just buy mainstream brands, mainstream fireworks. I buy fireworks that that just interest me, things that, you know, are maybe kind of abnormal. You know, fireworks that maybe you don't normally see on YouTube. There's a lot of fireworks that are out there that just not on YouTube, but I'm going to bring them to YouTube. You know, another thing when it comes down to product selection, for me especially, is availability and affordability. You know, I mean, I live in an area where there's no fireworks shops around here. The only fireworks shops that pop up are during the holidays. You won't find a fireworks shop within 200 miles of my house that's open year round. When July rolls around, you'll see trailers. There are fireworks shops that open up. They're seasonal. They only open up for the holidays. That's it. You know, so I don't have a whole lot of options to go out and buy fireworks. Availability is a huge issue for me. You know, I can't just go out and buy fireworks, you know, whenever I want to. I have to plan when to go, where I'm going, when I'm going. You know, it's not easy. Another thing is affordability. You know, fireworks are expensive, and I'm sure now with the tariffs, they're probably going to be more expensive. You know, so I mean, I don't have the biggest budget for fireworks. You know, at one time I had a little extra cash, and then I used it and to buy a lot of fireworks and stuff, and it was a great time. You know, so budget is important when it comes to fireworks, and so you buy the mainstream fireworks at the big name shops, you're going to pay more money for them. Where I could go somewhere else and buy more fireworks for less money. You know, why would I want to go and buy a pack of rockets, a 4-pack of rockets for $50, where I can go somewhere else and buy an 8-pack of rockets for, you know, $20? You know, are the quality of rockets less? I don't know. We're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? We'll find out. So that's my mindset. Availability and affordability plays a big part of it. That's why I like going to Shelton Fireworks a lot, because I go over there. I make a planned trip to go over there with a certain amount of dollars. I spend a certain amount of money, and I know what I'm going to get. I know I'm going to get some extra cash for free. The more money you spend, the more money you get back to buy more fireworks. You can always go to Shelton Fireworks and know that you're going to get something back. Whereas you go to other places, you can spend $300, $400, $500, and they might hand you some punks and say, "Have a nice day." Availability and affordability falls under the umbrella of creativity. It's all a big puzzle. You have to put it together. So I guess in conclusion of the question, how do I approach making videos? It doesn't really matter to me if the viewers like it or not. I'm still making my videos the way I want to. I'm going to continue to make my videos in a creative way, using location as my advantage. I'm going to use fireworks that may or may not be popular, and my product selection, you know, My product selection is not your normal way of go about buying fireworks. A couple more aspects when it comes to making videos. One of the things I like to do is character development, I guess you could say, and which includes wearing attire, including my bandana, the colors matching the packaging of the firework. You guys have probably noticed that. I don't know, it's just something I like to do. I don't know why. I guess it's just part of my OCD. Not too long into my channel, I started using a bandana, instead of a fishing hat or whatever, because but to me, bandanas represent, a wild side, an outlaw, someone who's, non-conformity, I think the bandana is a good look, and so I went with it, and I have, a bunch of different bandanas here. I got a collection of bandanas up here, the ones I've worn on my videos. Something else you might notice in my videos is that I don't use a microphone when I'm talking, or mic, whatever. I'll just yell loud or talk really loud, and I'll have these hand gestures and mannerisms. It's because I'm excited about what I'm talking about. I don't need a microphone to get my point across or to speak to you guys. I can use my own voice, my own loud voice. I grew up watching professional wrestling my whole life, and so I see these guys. They have a lot of energy. They have a lot of aggression, and so I kind of adopted that naturally when I'm speaking to the camera, as if I'm some sort of a professional wrestler, talking to the cameraman. That's something I do. I try to do. That's just kind of how I present myself sometimes. A lot of times in my videos, especially some of my promos, I guess, you'll see me, posturing around, gesturing, and you'll see me, do like poses and stuff. I'm really imitating some of the moves of some of my favorite wrestlers, of Chris Jericho, Triple H, Scott Hall, Hulk Hogan, The Rock. When I do the whole keep banging thing, that's a Rock move. I take bits and pieces of my interests, my likings, I integrate them into my channel, my videos. That's part of the fun in making videos. That's what I live for. I love being creative in my videos. My character, when you see me in my firework videos, who I am, I say a lot of goofy things. I do a lot of, sometimes I'll have some crazy antics or whatever, but that's who I am in person too, I'm generally kind of a goofy guy. And so when I'm talking, my videos are unscripted. I don't have a script for my videos. Everything is just like, as is. It's I say things when it hits my mind. Something happens or something comes across my mind, and I just say it. I don't like you premeditate what I'm going to say, on camera or whatever. I'm just who I am. My character on camera is who I am in real life. I like to have fun. I like to goof off. I like to be funny. I like to make people laugh. It's all about entertainment. This channel is about entertainment, like I said, in the previous questions. It's about entertainment, and so that's what I'm trying to do. And if I can entertain you, then I've accomplished my goal. It don't matter how long the video is or how short it is. It don't matter what kind of products I use. What kind of video it is. I'm just trying to be myself and entertain you at the same time. When talking about my approach to making videos, it's really all about the challenge of creativity. It's the presentation of product. And when I say product, I'm talking about not necessarily about a particular firework or whatever. I'm talking about whatever it is I'm doing. Whatever it is I'm doing in that particular video, I have to ask myself, how do I present this to the viewers? How do I present this to the viewers in a way that they will like it, they'll find it entertaining, whatnot, and how can I present it in a way that that I like, in a way I want, because that's what I'm going to do anyways. the bottom line is, I put a lot of thought and a lot of work into making my videos. You know, it's not easy doing the shit that I do. It's all for, you know, for you guys. You know, I want you guys to see who I am, to see where I live. I want you to enjoy the fireworks, okay? And that's, you know, it's really what it's about. You know, this is a firework channel, but it's not just about fireworks. It's about learning about people. It's about, you know, identifying with people. It's about connecting with people like-minded. You know, it's like, hey, let me see what so-and-so's doing. Let me see what so-and-so's up to. Okay, that's who he is. That's who she is. That's what they do. And you learn to identify people or recognize people by who they are or what they do. You know, if somebody says, "Oh, you know, the Beachbanger. Oh, he's that guy who, you know, who wears a bandana. He shoots fireworks off the beach. You know, and he says some really cheesy things sometimes. You know, that's if that's who you identify me as, then so be it. You know, I'm cool with that." Let's see, what do I want viewers to get from watching my videos? Two things. I want viewers to be entertained. I want people to watch my videos and have fun watching them. I want them to like what I say, like what they see, you know, enjoy the content. I want viewers to be entertained by my videos. You know, I wanted them to like watch it all the way through and laugh or whatever, you know, and maybe learn something. Who knows, you know? And somebody probably could learn something from me, I guess. Now, I don't know. But the second thing I want people to get from my videos is inspiration. I want people to see my videos and be inspired to make their own videos, you know, make their own firework channels. You know, we want to build the community up, you know, bring up new pyros. So I want my viewers to be entertained and inspired by my videos. That's probably the two things I'd like to see, you know. Oh yes, my return. My return in 2026. I decided after this past 4th of July that I wanted to make a return in 2026. Now, originally, I was just going to do a 4th of July show on the beach. That's really all it was going to be. But I've realized how much fun I have missed in making videos. Yes, it's a lot of work, but I do miss it. And so, you know, I sit here in my poker room, I look at things that remind me of what I used to do on YouTube, you know, make firework videos. And so I greatly miss that, you know. So I decided to make a comeback in 2026. Starting in January, I will be putting out brand new content. I plan on putting out hopefully at least one video a week, if not two, maybe even three. I got a few things lined up. I want to do a series called The Danger Box, where I fill it full of novelty items, and on each episode or each video, I'll pull out, you know, one or two novelty items and light them off. It'll be a short video, you know, less than 5 minutes. Probably more like 3 or 4 minutes. I also plan on doing a series on Shelton Firework House Brand Mobster and possibly Mississippi Gambler. One of the two, or maybe both. I don't know yet. I haven't made any purchases yet. I'll be putting out my regular stuff as well. I'll also be putting out you random demos of different fireworks, you know, that I see, that I like, that I want to put out there. So look forward to, in 2026, new content from me leading up to the 4th of July fireworks show. I've already started planning for it, what I want to do. I've already decided the location where I want to film that show at as well. I won't be doing a New Year's Eve show, because on New Year's Eve I'll be spending that time recording demos. I'll be recording, you know, products to make demo videos. New Year's Eve will be a very busy day for me. But anyways, you got that to look forward to. I'm excited about my return, and I hope you are as well. I hope this channel picks up where it left off and continues to grow and reach out more people, and that's what I'm looking forward to. I will say this though, that between now and New Year's Eve, I will be putting out videos from previously unreleased footage, so you have that to look forward to as well. I'll also be putting out a lot more shorts. My son says that I should be putting out more shorts, and so any shorts you see put out by me, chances are my son did that. He takes pieces of my videos, makes shorts out of them, puts them out, edits them, and all that stuff. So keep watch out for that stuff. For all intents and purposes, just so you know, I don't consider myself, you know, a pyro. I'm more like a pie rogue. You know what I'm saying? I know just enough about fireworks to have fun, and at the same time get somebody hurt. That's me. You know, I'm just some of these guys on YouTube, man. They are true pyros. They know what the hell they're doing. They know the science behind things they do. You know, and they're really good at fusing and creating, you know, great shows with perfect timing and all this kind of stuff. Hey, my bandana is off to them guys. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there are some really good pyros out there in YouTube world, and I respect them for what they do. They make me look pretty bad. I'll be honest with you. That's just the way it is. That's just a cold hard truth. You know. Everything I know is from those pyros, you know, on YouTube. The last thing I'd like to say to everybody out there watching this video is thank you. Thank you for supporting this channel. Thank you for all your comments. Thanks to all the pyros out there who have taught me everything I know about fireworks. If it wasn't for all your videos, I wouldn't be making my own videos. If it wasn't for all the viewers out there watching my content, I would have nothing to put out, because I feed off the responses I get from you guys. So thank you everybody out there for watching this channel, commenting on this channel, sharing this channel, subscribing. Hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Alright, I'm the Beachbanger. Until next time, keep banging!